Will you still love me tomorrow? Oh, and I'm live. Tomorrow. Here, enjoying some oldies. I think that's probably one of the best things of flow for my cooling down at night. They have all these channels that put on some nice oldies, good music, you know, and you're supposed to sit down and listen to it and just relax and enjoy. But I'm going to do my checks and balances just to make sure you guys are going to hear me clearly. I see I'm live here. Just to make sure you guys are going to hear me. Oh yes, wonderful. Send myself some love. I just wanted you guys to know that I really do enjoy doing these lives, sharing any kind of insight or little nuggets of wisdom that I kind of stumble upon as a married woman. And I don't know, it just gives me a little joy just to touch base and let you guys hear a little bit of what is authentically me or what's going on with hubby and myself, and hopefully it helps somebody. Yeah, that's my heart. I hope it helps someone out there. Tonight's topic, as you realize that hubby is not here, he's trying to get baby girl to sleep as usual every Sunday after 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock. She just does not like to go down. I think that's something that we can work on, getting her to bed earlier, and not just for her sake, but for our sake. You know, it's a lot, but it's a little distracting, the music, so just turn it down a little bit. So the topic that I really wanted to hit on tonight was fatherlessness and marriage. For the fact, turn it completely off. For the fact that a little bit of my history is that I grew up without a dad, and that entire experience is not only for me. A lot of men and women come from single parent homes. Some children are orphans that they never had a mother or a father growing up, and guardians had to take care of them, or they, grew up in orphanages or foster care or whatever. And I can safely say that even though that may or may not have been your reality, as a baby to toddler to child, growing up, teenager or whatever, without any of your parents or one parent missing, it doesn't mean that you have to have a horrible life. It doesn't mean that that's the end of your story. It's just part of your testimony. It's just part of something that, it's a part of you, it's a part of your journey, something you have no control over. It just is that's what you had to endure. With a little knowledge or with a little guidance, I'm sure that all the challenges that being fatherless would pose in a marriage can be addressed, and you can have a successful marriage. And a big issue of being fatherless in a marriage is the fact that you're dealing with a man. Like, you're married to a man, but you grew up not seeing how men behave or how a man is, how they think, how they speak, what they do. It's like an anomaly. You have no or sorry, not an anomaly, it's kind of like a mystery. Like, what does a man do? What's the role? What's the purpose of a man? I didn't grow up with a man. I didn't grow up with a father. So what do you do in a house? What are the roles? How am I supposed to behave? How am I supposed to address you? How am I supposed to respond to you when you have an attitude? Or how am I supposed to love you even though, you speak harshly to me? Like, what is that? So a big thing that fatherlessness plays in marriage, we have bits and pieces missing. So we make a lot of mistakes in the marriage, just thinking about, okay, well, how am I supposed to submit to a man when I don't know what he is or what he's for? I'll say that, let me put a plug here. I had a spiritual encounter, or I would say I had a spiritual experience where I was in fellowship one night and my spiritual mommy, she said God told her or gave her a vision that there was this banner of love over me. And I've carried that. I've carried my relationship with God so close to me because I was fatherless. And here he is presenting himself to me, saying that he is my father. And I latched on to that. It was like nobody, no male in my life ever wanted me. And God wants me. So it was quite the heart turner, quite the page turner for me, quite the transformative boost that I needed because I struggled significantly in my childhood years, in my teenage years, in my early 20s. I struggled a lot with self-esteem, with my image, my identity, who I was, what was I supposed to do. I mean, nature takes over when you get a teenager. Your hormones start to rage, your body's changing, so you end up being attracted to guys. And here I am, fatherless, don't know what to do with these guys, but my body is telling me that I am attracted to this guy, or I like this guy, you want to kiss this guy, you want to hold this person. Or the images that you're seeing in the movies, or the shows that you're watching are showing you relationships between men and women, and you want that too. I started to desire, a husband. I started to desire a boyfriend. You want somebody to be with you and love you and all this good stuff. But I don't know what to do. I don't have anybody to mirror for me what it means to have a man. The father is not there. So when God showed me that he was my father, I then had to learn fatherness. I had to learn what it meant to have a father. I had to learn what it meant to not have a father, and what it meant to now have a father. And if a woman does not know the role of the man, if she does not understand the role of the man, or she was raised by strong women like I was, you are going to think that the man is there for you to rule. You're going to think that he is there for you to control or use. You're going to have an unhealthy view of the male in your life. You will get relationships. I mean, physical stuff takes over. You see somebody, you like them, then you want to go have sex with them, and then you do that, and you find out you're in a relationship with somebody, or you have a child with someone. But without that knowledge of what to do with that man, the relationship will seem overwhelming, or it would seem as though like the relationship is killing you because you're operating in dysfunction. You know, the relationship is not functioning the way that it's supposed to function because you're not functioning the way that you're supposed to function because you don't understand the function of a man or the function of a wife or a woman, you know. So having these things, I understand now why the Bible says the things that it says, or why it explains God the way that it does, or why that, you know, things had to happen the way that it happened. Because God is a God of order, and He's the creator, and He's the one that established the species called man, male and female. So because He established us and created us, then we have to go to Him and ask Him, like, what is the role of a man and what is the role of a woman? And once we get the information that you know what those roles are, you will find order. You will understand how the relationship is to function, and you will find purpose in the relationship and understand why you have a marriage, why you have these relationships. And funny enough, marriage is not just to satisfy your flesh. It's not just so you have sex. I had to find this out for myself because, like I've confessed in lives before, I honestly thought that it was just legal sex. You know, you go and you sign those papers, you say your vows and whatever, and you can now legally have your sex, you know, and nobody's going to tell you anything. But in a marriage, you're not going to be having sex every single day or every moment of the day. That does. So when you finish that act and then you're left with your spouse, what do you do then? So I had to learn that that's not the purpose for a marriage. That's not the purpose that two people get together. There's something bigger, something greater. And I laugh because I laughing at myself in my head, right? So I had to discover this because there were moments where, as a wife, I honestly did not want that. And I'm sure that my husband was in a position too. It was like, that was just so not on his mind. And when that's not on your mind, what then? What do? You just go to work, pay bills, and that's it. The man has the I would say the biggest responsibility in the relationship. He's carrying the weight of the family. He is carrying that load of husband, of priest, of the head. He takes responsibility according to God's laws, according to God's will. He takes responsibility for his wife, for his children. And that's a big responsibility and a very, very, very heavy burden to carry. So you come along and that's your role as a wife. You help him carry it. You support him in his responsibility, and you offer, I would say, a place of comfort, a place of softness, a place that he can rest and unfold and fuel himself. You know, that's you supposed to give him energy to keep doing what it is that he has to do and not steal his energy. And when we do not understand the role of a man, we, knowing or unknowingly, steal the man's energy. And then when he does not have the energy for us, we complain, still continuing that cycle of stealing the energy from the man. And then when we continue to steal this energy from him, then we have legal grounds for divorce, and we complain and we vent and we say, you know, I don't love him anymore, he don't love me anymore, and we end up with a failed relationship or a failed marriage. God is a God of order, and there is an order in marriage. And it is not to diminish the roles of women in the marriage at all. I think that we are so important. We are very, very important in the marriage. Not more important than the husband, but we need each other. The husband needs the wife, and the wife needs the husband. But there is still an order to it. And once you get a healthy order going, then you'll be able to feed each other and do great and mighty things together. And then you'll be able to teach your children or show them what having a healthy relationship looks like. And then they will be able to choose for themselves. They would know what it looks like if you are able to get your house in order. So I just wanted to share that. I don't want to go too long. It's now 11:16 and I'm by myself. So I don't want to talk too much. I don't have my partner to kind of like, nudge me or whatever. But you have that to ponder on until Wednesday when I join you again. And hopefully hubby will be able to join me on Wednesday. But you have that to ponder on for the next couple of days. So if you have any questions about it, anything that you disagree with, anything that you agree with, you can always send me a DM. You can comment on the live when you watch it in the playback, because it's going to be on the page. If you see it come up in your feed, you can always just comment on it if you listen to it this far, and share your experiences or share your wisdom. And you can say, well, yeah, I agree that fatherlessness significantly impacts a marriage negatively. And we will try, or I would say we will seek to get our houses in order if we are married. If you're not married, put your house or your affairs in order before you get married, so that you can deal with the fatherlessness that you may have lived with your entire life, because you're going to have to continue to live with your fatherlessness. And I would say get a good father like God in your life, because we need fathers. Fathers are important, not just for you, but for your children. So if you think about it and you cannot make your marriage work, it will impact your children when they don't have their father around. Yeah. So think about it, ponder about it. If it fits you, think about how you can get some help and reach out to someone or confess to someone, and get some prayer or some guidance. But I just wanted to highlight that tonight, that it is a big deal. And it's something that we need to deal with so that we can start to reverse some of this madness that fatherlessness has caused or created in our society. Yeah, we need to do better and be better. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for joining my live, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next live. Good night.